I've been driving long-haul routes for almost 15 years, and I've seen a lot of strange things on the road. Most of them have reasonable explanations. This wasn't one of them. The summer of 2026 was miserable in the Blue Ridge Mountains. Everybody talked about the heat. But what stood out to me was the fog. It seemed like every night the mountains disappeared behind a thick blanket of white. Sometimes you couldn't see more than a few feet beyond the hood of the truck. The night this happened, I was hauling a refrigerated trailer through western North Carolina. It was sometime after midnight, and I was completely alone on the highway. The engine droned steadily beneath me. The dashboard lights glowed softly inside the cab. It felt safe in there, almost comfortable. Outside the windshield, though, there was nothing but white fog. No stars, no trees, no signs, just fog. After a while, I noticed my dash acting weird. The proximity sensor started flashing warnings. Then the warnings disappeared. A few seconds later, they came back. I figured the moisture was messing with the electronics, and that happens sometimes. But then every sensor on the dash lit up at once before resetting. That's when I noticed movement in my mirror. At first I thought it was another vehicle. Then I realized there were no headlights, no taillights either. Just a dark shape moving alongside the trailer. I looked again. The thing was matching my speed. I was doing 60 miles an hour. Whatever it was, it shouldn't have been possible. My stomach dropped. The shape moved closer. For a second, I thought it might be a deer running parallel to the road, but that idea disappeared fast. The way it moved wasn't right. Its legs seemed blurred together, like there were too many of them. Every time I tried focusing on it, the shape changed. One moment it looked low to the ground. The next, it seemed almost tall enough to look through my window. I remember gripping the steering wheel so hard, my fingers hurt. The thing kept getting closer. Soon it wasn't beside the trailer anymore. It was beside my cab, only a few feet from the driver's door. I caught a glimpse of something pale through the fog. Long limbs, sharp angles. Then it vanished from sight. A second later, something slammed onto the roof of the trailer. The sound nearly made me jump out of my seat. Metal screeched above me. It sounded like someone dragging a steel rake across the entire length of the trailer. Then it happened again and again. The scratching moved back and forth overhead. Whatever was up there had weight. A lot of weight. The trailer shook every time it shifted. Then came the pounding. Heavy thumps that rattled the entire rig. At first I thought my heart was playing tricks on me. Then I realized the impacts were matching my heartbeat. Every time my pulse sped up, the thumping sped up too. That's when real fear set in. This thing wasn't just following me. It knew I was there. And it was testing the truck. The scratching moved toward the front of the trailer. A loud bang shook the entire cab. I pushed harder on the accelerator. The truck climbed through one of the higher ridges in the mountains. There were no lights anywhere. No gas stations. No houses. No other vehicles. Just me and that thing. Then my brake warning light came on. The air system started hissing, Pressure was dropping. I couldn't understand why. The truck began losing speed. Outside, the mountain air was cold enough to fog the windows. Inside the cab, I was sweating through my shirt. I had this horrible feeling that whatever was on my trailer wanted me to stop, and it was making sure I would. For the first time in my career, I felt completely helpless. I was sitting inside a machine built to cross entire states, and something out there was taking it apart piece by piece. Finally, I reached the highest point of the route. The road leveled out. A faint glow from the moon started breaking through the fog. The white wall around me began to thin. The scratching stopped immediately. So did the pounding. I checked my mirror. There it was, standing near the tree line, watching. I only saw it clearly for a second. A dark silhouette with too many limbs, too many joints. Nothing about it looked natural. Then it stepped backward into the trees and disappeared. I never saw it again. When I reached a truck stop an hour later, I inspected the trailer. There were deep gouges carved into the steel roof and side panels. Not scratches, gouges. The maintenance guys couldn't explain them. Neither could I. I still drive through the Blue Ridge Mountains, but when the fog rolls in thick enough to hide the trees, I take a different route. Maybe it was an animal. Maybe it wasn't. All I know is that something ran beside my truck at 60 miles an hour that night. And whatever it was, it didn't seem afraid of me at all.